Hi, I'm Dave Britton. I'm the Director of Amazon Business for UK and Ireland, and I'd like to take a few minutes now just to talk about some of the key developments here over the last year. As I'm sure we can all agree, 2020 was not the year that any of us were expecting. We've all had to overcome a huge number of challenges, a huge number of new changes, and it's made life really hard. And I'm just talking about at work. At home, we've also had to overcome a huge number of challenges, whether that's dealing with the joys of video conferencing, homeschooling our children, or even just getting hold of the food that we want. That has been really tough. We've all had to pull together. We've all had to play our part. And I'm delighted to say that for Amazon's part, we've worked closely. We've partnered with the NHS and with UK government on a number of initiatives. First of all, we've leveraged our distribution network in order to support the COVID testing initiative across the UK. To date, we've distributed 2 million testing kits to people's homes, meaning that they can get those vital tests without leaving the safety and security of their own house. And we've done that free of charge, waiving all fees. In addition, and more relevantly to Amazon Business, we also set up COVID-19 supplies. This is a dedicated storefront for schools, local governments and healthcare organisations to get the vital equipment they need: gloves, masks, gowns, sanitizer, and deliver it to frontline employees next day. And again, we've waived all fees and all charges to deliver that at cost. I'd also like to talk about the things that aren't vitally important, but bring more joy. I'm delighted to say that just before COVID-19 hit, just as it looked like it was coming, we were able to distribute 500 Fire tablets to one of the UK's largest care home providers with over 300 sites in the UK, meaning that their residents were able to connect to loved ones throughout lockdown. That to me is a perfect story of why procurement is so important at this moment in time. If we can't get the right products to the right people at the right time, then frankly, we've failed. We're going to be coming back to that topic multiple times over the course of the next couple of days, and I encourage you to attend as many of the sessions as you can to make maximum benefit of it. If you work in the public sector, we've got multiple sessions coming up for you. Today, we'll be hearing from the University of the West of England and South Ayrshire Council on ensuring reliable procurement and purchasing during times of distress. And tomorrow, very excitingly, Anne Rung, our Global Head of Public Sector and the former US Chief Acquisitions Officer underneath President Obama, will be chairing a panel on modernising procurement. After the initial COVID-19 shock, we've all had to adjust to a new normal, which for many of us has meant remote working or working from home. That's brought with it a range of new challenges to ensure that our employees remain productive and connected even when they don't have access to the resources that they're used to having. We've brought a number of tools to market to enable you to be able to do that, many of which Todd has mentioned already, but also including things to help you manage budgets remotely and also to collaborate on invoice processing to avoid all of that admin headache. That's all very theoretical though. Let's make it a bit more concrete by talking about a specific example. Like many of us, Win Technologies was based in an office, and like many of us again, they've moved to remote working. They realized very quickly that in order to maintain productivity, they would have to empower their employees to create comfortable but functional workstations at home. They also realized very quickly that this would result in a huge amount of paperwork for them, as each employee submitted individual expenses claims for the items they need. So they reached out to their Amazon Business account manager, John, and they talked to him about possible solutions for this, and they came up with a plan. First of all, they set individual budgets at user level. Then second, they identified a list of individual products that they would be happy for employees to buy: furniture, hardware, etc. And then thirdly, they set up approvals in the system to automate all of the workflows for those requests. John also set them up with a line of credit in order to give them access to the pay by invoice feature, meaning that they could process all of those expense claims, or in fact, avoid them completely. Then, once all of that was in place, they invited all of their employees to sign up to the Amazon Business account and register their home addresses so things could be delivered to them directly. And from there, it took care of itself. I'm delighted to say that now 60% of Win Technologies employees have taken advantage of this arrangement, meaning that they can get back to their day jobs straight away. They don't need to worry about the hassle of getting hold of that equipment. And also, more importantly, we've avoided all of those expenses claims, meaning the central processing teams have been able to save time and money, and again, focus on core deliverables. This is a story I hear time and time again right now. Using simple but effective automation to remove unnecessary paperwork, unnecessary admin, and focus people on what they do best. If you haven't thought about this yet, I strongly encourage you to do that now, especially in the light of all the challenges that we are facing right now, and to think through what you need to do differently. Take the opportunity to talk to Amazon business teams or to network with your fellow attendees in some of the networking sessions over the next couple of days. You really will get a huge amount out of it. But it's not just about COVID-19. There are other things going on. And as Todd talked about earlier, some of our most important initiatives really are still ongoing right now. And I'd like to focus in on one topic in particular, which is sustainability, as there are a bunch of important initiatives which have taken place in the UK over the last 12 months. As you may be aware, Amazon co-founded the Climate Pledge, which was a commitment to deliver net zero carbon by 2020. That's a full 10 years ahead of the Paris Agreement. That's an enormous undertaking, something that underpins every part of our business, and it's something that we're taking very, very seriously. As a good example of this, we've committed to installing solar panels on the tops of our fulfillment centres across the UK, and to date, we've installed 8 of the 10 planned. At capacity, they will generate the equivalent power for 4,500 UK homes, saving 6,000 tonnes of CO2 every year. That's huge. But it's not good enough. We want to achieve 80% renewable energy by 2024 and 100% by 2030. And to do that, at the end of last year, we announced our 4th corporate wind purchase power agreement, which was our largest to date as well, in the Kintyre Peninsula in Scotland. That, along with our other wind farms, will come online from 2021, and we envisage it will deliver 168 megawatt hours of power annually, the equivalent of powering 46,000 UK homes every year. If you'd like to learn more about our sustainability initiatives, then we've got a number of sessions coming up for you. In particular, though, immediately after this, Daniel Mendes da Silva from our own corporate procurement team at Amazon will be talking through a case study of how we think about sustainability within our own supply chain. And then later today, Cara Hurst, our Vice President for Worldwide Sustainability, will be talking more about the Climate Pledge and our commitment to meeting that Paris Agreement deadline 10 years earlier. And now let's look to the future. Todd has already talked about the many products and features we're going to be bringing to the market later this year, focusing in particular on how we're going to be simplifying purchasing for our largest customers, and how we're going to be building the right solution for public sector. We're working incredibly hard to simplify the end-to-end procurement process, streamlining admin, empowering employees, and allowing you to focus on the core of your job. But of course, in the UK, that's not the only thing we have to contend with. We have something else, and that, of course, is Brexit, or I should say more accurately, the end of the transition period on the 31st of December 2020. No matter how you voted in the referendum, we can all agree that Brexit is going to bring a high degree of change to all of our businesses. There's going to be challenges. Import-export duties, VAT paperwork, delays in shipping, to just name a few that will impact the procurement teams. There will also be opportunities, new customer and market segments, both in the UK, in Europe and beyond. New products and new services for B2B and B2C. And if we're really lucky, maybe a slight relaxation of some of the paperwork, but I can't guarantee it. Whatever Brexit does bring, I can tell you that Amazon Business is here, committed to making sure we make life as seamless as possible to you. In particular, we're going to continue expanding our Invoice by Amazon product. That's our single supplier solution, giving you access to hundreds of millions of products without the need of maintaining a long tail of small suppliers. We're working hard to ensure that function remains as seamless and as close to as it is as possible post-Brexit, so you don't need to worry about whether the items you need are coming from Manchester or Munich. Coming up now, we have our first networking opportunity for the day, where you've got 3 possible options. Number 1, you could connect with the Amazon Business team by going to Connect with Us. Number 2, you can network with your fellow attendees by going to the networking section of the website. Or number 3, you can visit any of our corporate sponsors by going to the Virtual Expo. But don't go away, because after that, we have a range of sessions coming up, featuring leaders from across Amazon and also some of our customers across Europe, and from the UK in particular, ISS UK, Centrica, and Oxfordshire County Council. Very much hope you're going to take the opportunity over the next 2 days to network with your fellow colleagues across the procurement industry, to talk to us Amazon Business, to really get out as much of this as you possibly can. Enjoy.